Hello there again, this is Oscar from Tercio Gaming, and I am demonstrating here a match as the Space Marines. So this is another Dawn of War 3 3v3 online match that I had during the closed beta. And I'm just starting off as normal with a Tech Marine going to capture one of the resource points down below. I'm also making a tactical squad at base. Now the main difference of the Space Marines and the Eldar is that the Space Marines, they have drop pods, which is that little interface icons that we have on top of the unit cards. As you can see, we have 3 drop pods, 2 of them are locked, and we also have a banner ability. The cool thing about the drop pods is that you can click one of the empty pods, train a unit inside of it, and then once it's ready you can call the drop pod anywhere you want, and they fall on top of the enemy army, disrupting their formation, giving you an opportunity to really do some damage to them as their units will be stunned. So here I'm trying to take down the middle point, and it's already being taken by the enemy Space Marine player. He also has one of the tech priests building a listening post on it, so that's going to be complicated. I do need more Tech Marines to take that down. The listening post has been completely built, so it's going to be complicated to go inside. So what I'm going to do is try and build up that base that I had there as a reinforcement point for my allies, but I will take my units to the north to try and take down the northern listening post right here. So with 3 tac squads and a heavy bolter team, I feel pretty confident to assault the northern resource node, which is guarded by orcs. Now the orc boys, they're really good at melee, so you have to be careful when you're going to fight at them, because they're going to come at you real fast, especially right now that what they're doing is wagging each other, which is a buff to speed. As you can see, they come really fast. Now my Space Marines and melee combat, they will lose against the orc boys, so you have to be really careful with what you do with your placement. As you can see there, the enemy Space Marine player has a kill team, and they launched a grenade which slows down my units and does some damage. Really nasty grenade. Finally, I got enough elite points to get Gabriel Angelos, and he's supporting the units here to attack the northern point. My ally also came around to help. While I provide the range power, my ally is providing assault marines, which are going to help with the melee combat. Gabriel though, our friend Gabe, he's going down in health, and he dies fairly fast. Now upgrading my tac squads with plasma guns, which are very powerful guns, upgrades to the bolter. They do increased normal damage, which is already a big improvement over the standard bolters that they have. And they take down these buildings really easily, as you can see here. Now with my tech priest, I'm going to build a vehicle depot, which is one of the big strengths of the Space Marines, their variety of vehicles. My ally already had built a whirlwind, which is already doing an artillery bombardment there in the remaining orc settlement to the north, especially because they do have 2 elite units there and some shooter boys. Now I do have visibility over these people because I have my scouts there. Space Marine scouts are invisible, which is really great, so they can't see them, but I can see them. Therefore the whirlwind can freely bombard them at will.
Assault Marines report, ready to drop.
More bombardments going on. The orc player is really suffering from those attacks, so he has to move his army out of there. So now I'm making my own whirlwind, which will help my ally to bombard the remaining orc army out of the position. And I'm also going to do something tricky here. I'm experimenting a bit with the orbital bombardment signal that the Space Marines have. Costs 2 elite points, and I think it's a pretty powerful ability. It's less powerful than the Eldritch Storm, because you have to settle down a small building, which is that like satellite kind of thingy, which is going to control the orbital bombardment. The thing is, if an enemy goes close to that satellite, then they can capture the orbital bombardment and control it themselves. So it does have a counterattack. That's why I'm trying to guard it so no units get near it. And now all hell breaks loose as there's pretty colours and lights everywhere flashing. The good thing is that we are dominating the battle. Our ally is there to help us. Our units are also wrecking the enemy units, so we don't have a problem here. In fact, we're going to get lucky, and I think we'll be able to destroy all the elite units of the enemy, which is going to give us a great advantage to push back. Unfortunately, one of the enemy orc elites have destroyed our whirlwinds and my vehicle depot, so I can't call in more vehicles. And the other orbital bombardment there, completely obliterating the enemy army. And it seems that the enemy have captured one of the satellites of the orbital bombardment, so we're going to go and capture it back. As you can see, it has a capture circle, just like if it were a resource node, and now it's ours. With a resource node captured, we prepare our next assault on the enemy fortresses, this time towards the shield generator. I'm also taking the advantage here, this small pause in combat, to upgrade my units with some attack upgrades and defense upgrades from the arsenal building, and reinforcing my squads with new units. And here you can see how I train up a unit to go inside the drop pods. With our forces ready, I think it's time to advance to the enemy shield generator. Our ally is going to support us from the south. The orcs are already awaiting us in cover. We really need to take down that shield covering them. So we're going to use our assault marines to go in there. Our ally goes in first. I send in my assault marines. We completely take out the orc boys from inside. Now the enemy has no cover and they are completely vulnerable to our attacks. My marines with plasma guns are taking down the buildings, while the assault marines take down the fragile units in melee. Now the orcs have been tricky. They summoned down their rocks ability in our backline, so we have to move our units out of there. And they brought down a kill team as well. So I'm going to bring down my dreadnought from the drop pod. In this case, as it's a vehicle, it doesn't come down technically in a drop pod. It does come down in a spaceship. And then we have the kill team fighting my Gabriel Angelos. Of course, Gabe is stronger than the kill team, so it's going to go down easier. Unfortunately, my Gabe just died, but we did take down one of their elites. The enemy Gabe is also probably gonna die if I can reach him. If we can reach him. Yeah, come on. Die, damn it. And I didn't see if he died. Anyways, we did take a giant beating here. Our army is very weakened, but we did destroy the enemy army. So we're going to take this advantage and keep destroying their buildings. Capturing this resource node would also be useful to us, as here we can establish another forward base to now assault the shield generator. So I made another machine cult, and I'm doing some predator tanks here to experiment a bit, because this was actually the first time I made the predator tanks. There's mainly two types of predator tanks. There's the normal predator tank, which does normal damage. Then there's the other one that has armor-piercing bullets, which helps against heavy armor. So depending on what the enemy is fielding, you would want a Predator or the other. I'm fielding both here, just to try them out. Oh, and here we have a enemy retaliation, 2 elite units of theirs. And just in time, I bring Solaria, the Imperial Knight. What an amazing elite unit she is. One of the best, she's a must-have. She is very expensive in elite points, exactly 10. But she is so worth it because she's almost indestructible and she does tons of damage. As you can see, the other enemy elites aren't capable of doing much damage to her. You really need lots of armor-piercing damage to take her down and to focus fire her down. Here's my first Predator coming to help out. So basically with my Imperial Knight and Dreadnought and a few tac squads, I'm going to be able to push. The Predators are going to be helping. Telling the Tech Priest to do a listening post there to help us out there in the front line. Taking down that enemy elite. And we got him. Great. Now one cool thing about the elite units is that every time they die, they go into a cooldown. But every time they die, that cooldown increases. So you have to be careful with how you micromanage your elite units, because the more they die, the more cooldown they will need, so that you can respawn them. Okay, so the shield generator is down, and now we have to go for the enemy turret. So we're going to micro our units around it, so that it hits as less units as possible, and we're just going to focus fire it down. And the turret almost takes down my Dreadnought. Fortunately enough, we destroyed it before it did more damage to us. I am going to send a Tech Priest to repair the Dreadnought, and I'm going to recover my army a bit, because for the final push we're going to need full strength. And my allies are already pushing the enemy base, the enemy core, and this is basically victory for us. There you go. So this was still a match that I played in the closed beta. The open beta is already this week and it's ongoing, and I'm playing it right now. Still recording more footage for more videos to come in the coming week before the game actually releases. The next match I'll upload on the channel will probably be a Orc match, because we already have an Eldar, we have a Space Marine one. Let's do an Orc match so we can see the intricacies of the Orcs. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like, and I'll see you later.